Okay, so now that you've watched the little Prezi presentation and you see that you're going to discover some place in America that you'd like to either live or visit. The next thing we're going to do is open up our Google Chrome here at the bottom of the page. And we're going to go up to this little square, kind of looks like a checkerboard, and click on that. That's your apps, your Google Apps. We're going to go down to More, and we're going to click on Google Docs. Okay, so this is our Google Docs. We're going to click on this Create a New Document. It's a little red plus sign down in the corner. And there's our Google Doc. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is decide what we're going to write about. You have some notes where you looked into some websites and on our maps page, and you're going to enter all of that and some pictures into this document and present it for us in class. So first we're going to take a look at some of these buttons. You have your print button, your undo in case you make a mistake. You can go back to the last place you were. Your redo in case you accidentally erase something and you want it back. There's a paint format. You can change your zoom. You can make it bigger or smaller. You have your fonts that you can use. And you have your font size. Normally 12 is a good font size. You have a bold button that'll make a word bold or make it dark. You have your italic button, which will kind of put a word on a slant. You can underline a word. You can make a text a different color. You can link something from the internet to this. You can align it. Normally we align left, but since we're making a Google Doc, you might want to use the center key a lot, and there is align right. Okay, you can add number lists, you can add bullets, you can play around with this toolbar as much as you like. But right now, I want to talk about Minnesota. So what I want to do is I want to center it because it's the title. I also want to make it a different color because I want it to stand out on my page. And instead of 12 font, I want to make it big. Let's make it 60. That's nice and big. Now remember, whenever you're typing in the name of a state, it always starts with a capital letter. Do not want to see any lowercase letters at the beginning of our state. So there I have Minnesota. Whoops, I forgot my O. There we go. I have my Minnesota, and I decide I want to underline it, so I'm going to hit the underline. I like that. That looks good. And I hit the enter button and go down to the next line. Now, I don't want the rest of my typing to be this big and underlined. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to take off the underline. You just click on it. I'm going to change my text color back to black. And I'm going to make my font different. I'm going to use Comic Sans. That's one of my favorites. And I'm going to go back to 12 because, as I said, 12 is a normal size for writing. Now I'm going to go back to left align because I want my cursor over here so I can start typing. I'm going to enter again so it gives it a little space between the title and what I want to write. And in here I'm going to insert what I learned about my state. I'm going to write, I would like to live in Minnesota because there are many forests there. And then I'm going to say how many forests because I want to add detail to my writing. So I'm going to say there are 58 forests in Minnesota, and I got that information from my research, and 2 national forests. I like this because I really enjoy nature, and walking through the woods. Okay? So, I might want to add something else. Minnesota also has, let me see what happens when I do that. I misspelled that. Also has 90 miles of shoreline. Okay, now we see the little red mark underneath this. I misspelled it. So I'm going to right click on that, and they say, oh, you may have wanted to write has. So I click on that and it changes it for me. Okay. I love to walk along the shore. Okay. Now, from here, I want to insert a picture. I want pictures throughout this presentation. So what I want to do is I want to come up here to insert. I can go to an image. I can go to a link to another website. I can add a drawing. I can add a table. But what I want to do is I want to insert an image. So there I am, directly to Google Images. I'm going to hit search, and I'm going to put in Minnesota forests. And I'm going to search on that, see what they come up with. And look at all these pictures they have. If you like the snow, you like the shoreline, you just like the middle of a forest, look how tall their trees are. So I look through these pictures and I decide, I think I like this one. So I just click on it. I go down here, hit select. There's my picture. No cutting and pasting, guys. Then I can click on my picture and make it smaller if I'd like. So I want it smaller. Then look how my writing gets a little misaligned here. So what I want to do maybe is I can either hit inline, or I can hit wrap text. Now see, that will put the writing around it. I can also move this picture. Whoops, I don't want to move it up that far. I want to move it down here. Okay, there we go. So you might have to play with that a little bit. But here I am. I have my writing right around my picture. Okay? So then I can hit enter. I can go down. I can start writing about something else. Maybe there's something in a city in Minnesota that I find particularly interesting to myself. Remember, details. I want details. I want a little bit of information. Like I have the 58 forests and the 2 national forests. I want why you like that. And I'd like it to look interesting. You do not have to put your pictures in the middle of your text. You can put them next to it. You can do what you want. See how I just changed that next to it? It makes it a little bit easier to read, perhaps. It's all up to you. I want you to have fun, and I want you to be creative. Okay? At the end of this, when we're finished, we'll just save it. And we named it Minnesota, and I'm going to write Mrs. Stroud. And we'll put save. Okay? And there you go. We're done. Okay? That's what I'd like you to do. Now, Mrs. Parr and I will be in the classroom to help you should you have any problems. Just let us know. Enjoy!